Wait. Don Staley gives some advice to the Tennessee coach about the whooping that they received. More after these messages.
Chicago. 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 Dear foreigner, welcome to my city. See the bright light, skyscrapers looking pretty. Perfect skyline, postcard from the city, and we still on the rise, more construction keeping busy. Always bear down under blue in the winter. Can't forget the Bulls, red and black run the city.
King Kong ain't got S on me.
Yo, South Carolina is the #1 team, no doubt about it, in the SEC. Don Staley stood on business and stayed with what worked during this Tennessee thrashing. It was clearly a belt to ass moment, and it was really a reckoning for whoever thought that this team wasn't as impactful as the teams of the past. They got another thing coming, because Joyce Edwards and Tanaya Latson show you which way is up when it comes to this team. And let alone you got Raven Johnson and Tessa Johnson waiting on the wing side and playing the general of running the offense all in one court side. It's like a serious thing that you be able to watch. It makes me smile because I'm a Gamecock fan. Yes, I love the girls that they have on the court, and I look at each and every team as a different type of team in their own different type of tenacity. You got what I'm saying? So it was some things that last year team was missing that this team has. And there's certain things that this team has that last year's team is missing. So do you think that they going to the Daddy Bro Claw? Hell yeah. I think that this team can mess with just about any of them. And guess what? Any team in the SEC can get got. And that's real talk. So I'm going to just say what I need to say about the Gamecocks and their, tremendous, powerful win the other day. And it reads as follows. Columbia SEC AP report, Tanaya Latson scored 21 points. Joyce Edwards added 20 points and the #3 South Carolina ran past the #19 Tennessee 93-50, a 43-point spank down on Sunday for its 9th straight victory over the Lady Vols. The Gamecocks, 24-2, 10-1 in SEC, pulled away midway through the second quarter of the quarter and never let up after that. Finished with a single game program SEC shooting mark of 69%, 36 for 52. Tennessee has struggled like most other SEC teams against South Carolina the past few years. Although the Lady Vols previously 3 games, all Gamecock wins were decided by single digits. And the Lady Vols matched the Gamecocks' energy early on. Things were tied up 16 last in the first quarter. That's when South Carolina took control with 9-2 run, as Latson had 5 points and Edwards 4. Tennessee faltered again right before half, missing 6 of its final 7 shots. Meanwhile, the Gamecocks were on fire, hitting 6 of their last 8 to lead 47-32 at the break. Things only got worse the rest of the way, as the Lady Vols were outscored 46-18 in the second half. Tennessee was held to 28 points below its season's average. The 43-point defeat was the worst in program history, surpassing a 31-point loss to Texas in 1984. Medina Alcott had 10 points and 15 rebounds, her 15th double-double this season for South Carolina. Talisa Cooper, who began her college career with the Gamecocks, led the team to see with 17 points. Come home, Talisa. Come to the crib. Come on back. I know you left. You thought you weren't gonna get the time and the tick that you know what I mean, you thought that you wasn't. That's why most of you guys leave. But Dawn knows what she's doing. She sees you. She sees you for who you are, and she knows that you are a great player, a great person. I'm just saying, you know, the portal will be open, and I think that, you know, Talasia, that you know what I mean, you need to find your way home, because Don know you best. Don gonna put you where you need to go. I know a lot of players leave, and you know, they leave for their own reasons of thinking that they ain't gonna get the tick, or they can't play the game that they want to play. And you know, it just sometimes it just don't happen that way. You know what I mean? You know, for instance, what's going on over in LSU? Malaysia Fawali, she came up off the bench. I don't think that Malaysia would be coming off the bench over here. You know what I mean? So much. You know what I mean? I know Tanaya came, and Malaysia definitely is an undergrad. She is a junior, but I don't see her sitting on the bench as much, you know what I mean, play with this team either. But she made her choice. She hit the portal. She went to LSU, and you know, that's that. You know, she with my other girls, the Tigers. And, you know, hey, shout out to Malaysia Fawali for doing what's best for her, what she felt comfortable in doing. And, hey, you know, who can say who's right and who's wrong when that type of thing goes? All I know is I wish Malaysia the best. And they got an up-and-coming game coming, and I can't wait till that go down. You know what I mean?
I think by maybe a good estimate, it's probably 60% of the game in the zone defense. Was that by design, just how the game played out, or did y'all want to do it and stick with it?
We actually wanted to sprinkle in some zone, but because it was going so well that we just stayed with it. And I don't think in my 26-year career that I played more zone than what we played today. But I'm not stubborn enough to not go with what's working. So it was working today, and we stayed with it, and I thought it impacted the game. Bingo.
The knee brace didn't really slow down that much today. What did you see from her throughout her return?
I think she was ready. I think the knee braces gave her some security, right? I mean, so I thank our medical staff, our athletic trainers, and our performance coach for, you know, when players just have any type of pain, they have to activate, and they have to give our players a certain level of comfort, knowing that if they go back out there, they're not going to injure themselves to the point of it putting them out for a long period of time. So they got her in a comfortable mindset. And I think Tanaya got herself in a comfortable mindset, because it does. Anytime you sustain any kind of pain or injury, you think you're not the same player. So you don't do things like you're the same player. And I thought us ramping her up, her getting into practice all this week, not playing on Thursday, waiting until today. And I mean, it was the rest and the confidence that she needed to play and make an impact on both sides of the ball.
Michael, and then Lulu.
Do you have an update on Maddie? And then with this kind of extended period in between games, just how important is it to get everyone back and healthy for the LSU game?
No update on Maddie. I just knew she wasn't playing today. I mean, she'll be evaluated every day. It's good that we have somewhat of a bye week. Maddie wants to play, I know that. So when you have the mindset of wanting to play, it helps the body heal.
You know, she was talking about Maddie and how, you know, she really wanted to play, and she settled down. Maddie was in a boot in that actual game. But more after these messages. Let me tell you about the simplest way to get you in some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, and win some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry. Get every pick right and win some much needed cash. Use promo code SteadyServ and receive $1,000 bonus in cash. Now that it's football season, follow Steady Serv'n ENT as I share my picks. Pick players, choose the amount, win money, make picks, win cash. Thanks, Underdog Fantasy, for your partnership with us, and thank you for using the promo code Steady Serv'n on Underdog Fantasy.
Said she felt like her team had a lot of quit in them today, and obviously after a 43-point loss, it's kind of rough there. But with her just being a young coach in her career and her time with Tennessee, are there times where you felt like you've run into that issue with your teams in the past, and what advice would you give to her?
I would say,
I'll say this. They was talking about how the coach of Tennessee, said that her girls gave up. And I don't think that was, a smart thing for her to do. You know what I mean? Really, really a smart thing to talk about her girls, because it gives continuity. It's a lot of things that I say, coaches matter. And they really, really know that they matter. And especially if your coach thinks that you're not a good player, I mean, sometimes that affects, the girls. It affects a young lady on their coach not thinking that they're good enough. That they're not useful pieces for her to accomplish a win. You know what I mean? So when you're a young coach, you have to be careful to not make your team and the players that's on it insecure and not confident. You have to make them feel confident at all times. You got to make sure. I know you're frustrated. You're losing certain ways and certain teams, and everything is not working out the way that you want it to go, and that's frustration in itself. But you this is just your second year, and you're a young coach, and you got to make sure that the girls are confident in what you're trying to get them to buy into. But Donna Staley hit on it a little bit more.
very rarely. I mean, you can see for us, like, there won't be quit. There might be some undisciplined play out there. There might be some just we don't have it, and we're just on a gerbil wheel, working hard but going nowhere, right? You can see some of that, and that's correctable for a young coach like Kim, coaching for the traditional powerhouse of Tennessee. For me, I probably wouldn't say it publicly. That's one. Two, you just gotta, you gotta get your team to buy in, and sometimes it's tricking them, because it's a game. It's a game that you really have to balance and play with the players, because they know they played like ish, right? They know they did. Sometimes you need to bring what good happened. If you can find some good in it, hey, we did more of this. Some of that might just kind of relax them a little bit, because competitors know when they don't play well. Competitors know when they need to change their mindsets, and you need the majority. You need the majority of your team thinking the same way. And it has to be positive. If it's negative, you're going to get negative results. So I would start from there.
So, shout out to Dawn Staley because she's a scientist and she worked with the girls and the temperament and everything that goes on. And this is why she has a winning culture. This is why she has a winning culture here in South Carolina. And like I say, as always, man, look, Dawn Staley is ready to go. The girls are ready to go. She put them through the gauntlet for a reason, to get them prepared to know what it feels like. You know what I mean? If they had a couple of losses or whatever going on, she wants them to feel that, or close games or unwinnable games. She wants them to feel that type of tension so that they can know what's going on, but at the end of the game to still have fight. And that's what Dawn Staley wants her girls to have. So tell me what you think in the notifications. Let me know, you know what I'm saying, how you see that, you know what I mean, the game should have went. And as, you know what I mean, as always, I ask you, look, turn on your notifications. Every time that I drop a hot banger, you'll get the notification of that, and share, like, and subscribe to this channel. This here is a place for you to be comfortable. Join the channel, be a bread maker, be a part of the excitement of the hottest podcast growing right now on YouTube. And look, I thank you for what you've done. I thank you for what you do, and I thank you for what you will do. And as always, I leave as I came with another banger. As always, we 10 winning.
Yeah, the